Good morning and warm greetings to one and all from ekamiasacademy Hyderabad. Today we the students of Ekam have gathered to discuss one of the prime issues concerning our society, where same-sex marriage has been the point of discussion for the last 10 to 15 years. It has been growing prominence starting from 2017, where 377 was decriminalized, and in the light of recent Supreme Court judgment where they have partially accepted its validity and the case has been listed again for review. In this context, while a society evolves, and particularly in Indian societal context, the rights of society have been put on a lower scale and individual rights have been emphasized in the evolution. And in this context, we dwell to discuss upon the implications, the validity and the points concerning the society as a whole. Before indulging into the discussion, I would like to wish everyone on behalf of Ekam IAS Academy on the eve of Constitution Day and celebrate this opportunity being the proud citizens of this nation. So I invite the panel to for their opening comments on this discussion, starting from the people who are supporting the cause of same-sex marriage.
Even though we are living in 21st century, we are technologically so much upgraded, but our minds have not evolved so much to be inclusive and to be accepting the demands of all the peoples. Because there is bound to be differences in any society or any nation, be it ideological or sexual orientation also. They are bound to have their own rights. So it is not right for the majority to oppress the sexual minority to exercise their own rights.
The point being put by the side is to identify the right of an individual, not obliging by the majoritarian view, and hence the individual rights are the prime concern, where in the constitution also the equality provision has been emphasized, where every individual and every citizen of the nation has given a right to express themselves in free and fair manner. I invite the people opposing the cause to take the initiative.
Okay, so when we are talking about rights, with the abrogation of 377, we have already given the livelihood rights, and we are talking about the marriage right. And right to marriage is not a fundamental right. Marriage is a separate institution which has been defined to be a civil union of a man and a woman. So the roles of wife and husband have their own categorical descriptions, which I think cannot be taken up by the same-sex marriage institution. And India is a society which is more proud of its culture, and its all economic asset lies in the future generations. So same-sex marriage poses a challenge to the future population. I would say now India is at a better replacement rate.
What challenges can you exemplify? You have mentioned that the roles of a family members are gender specific, but why can't you consider the gender neutrality in a family? Because it is defined by a majority community, be it as a population or a society, anything. It is defined by a majority group with disregard for the minority.
I think it's nature's law that defines the gender roles more than the technical.
Yeah, I'm also on the point that it is natural. It is natural to be a gay, and it is natural to exercise the natural rights of being different. Because in a human civilization, humans have been fearful and indifferent to the different anything which is different to their rights. Because no one can define their birth, how they will born. So even they don't know how they have born like that.
So homosexuality by definition says that it's the attraction towards the same sex. So if this is being accepted, then I think we have to also accept marriage between siblings, because even they have sexual orientation towards siblings have sexual orientation towards each other.
I want to put forth the point that every boy or a girl is a byproduct of a male and a female. He or she draws the living material from both father and mother. So he or she will bound to have both the genders in him. alive. Only a few qualities are projected. So even in a man there is a feminine qualities hidden. Even in a woman there are men qualities hidden. So we should not discriminate those.
We are not discriminating, but what is it? There are some basic qualities which are projected outside by a mother or a father. So those qualities will be the base on which the other gender supports. That's how the family institution works. So on that point of view, I doubt how the other gender can make the basement if it's not so provoked in him or her.
It is not unique to humans as such. It is evident in animals too. Because we observe from some characteristics of animals like bromance in lions. Because a compact of lions, 2 or 3 come together and they woo a lioness. In the process, in the absence of a lioness, they mate. It is called bromance in lions. And it is also evident in giraffes, dolphins. So it is very much evident.
So we have, as a society of humans, we have something called prohibition of relations, prohibited relations. So if same-sex marriage is something which you say that it should be societally accepted, then I think you have to accept two brothers, two sisters, sister and brother, father and daughter, all those relations also. So if
there need to be some scientific barriers of endogamy, because cousin marriages falls in the boundary of endogamy. It is not healthy for the human evolution.
I think same-sex marriage is more unhealthy than.
No, it is not healthy because there is no involvement of biological component as such. They are not going to reproduce.
You said they cannot reproduce, right? So what's the purpose of marriage, functionality of marriage, institution of marriage?
Reproduction is only a element of family.
Is it?
It is only a part of nature. It's companionship, living the way you are and contributing what you can to the nature. Even being a status quo is also a part of nature.
So for that you need legality to coexist or need a
legal boundaries are defined by humans.
So okay, you're accepting that you're allowing them to get married, right? So how will you say who is the male and female, like who's the husband and who's wife?
That is what I am saying. There is no need to be specifying the gender. We want to emphasize gender neutrality.
So in case of a divorce,
there can be modified, no problem.
No, that is the main
between
question.
The couples, we can say that between the couples, we will mention the names as such.
Yeah.
Because the society is transforming from the traditional family system to now it is a transitional family system. Then there was no role for the women as such. Children were not looked down, but they were treated with utmost discipline. But now children have raised their voice. The liberty of women has increased. So equality of the family members as such increasing in this family system as now. You are saying marriage is a basis for the family. Why can't there be an equal unit of family among the gays actually?
Okay, regarding the following points which you have mentioned, marriage consists of 3 major functions: economic, social and biological. Economic, social are completely fulfilled by the queer community. But what about the biological one? And one more thing is, regarding the divorce, we are in a society where if there is a small kind of quarrel between a couple, they head to a court and file a divorce. In that case, in case of the queer community, who should be given the maintenance? In what sense will they fight for those rights?
Once the acceptance comes from the society, a mechanism will be devised accordingly.
What about child protection rights? Because India is signatory of child protection, many countries which have adopted this same-sex marriage, I think 34.
Yeah.
So they are almost all of them are not signatories of UN's child protection rights. So child protection and whatever may be the situation, economy of the country and the future generation, socialistic structure is the basis for the country. So when there is less child protection, I think we can't yield good citizens for the country.
As you have mentioned socialistic principles, we can take a leap forward and we will consider all the children as the property of state as such. Then there will be no need for the parents to look over their children.
I think that is a denial of right of the child, because parent and the children relation is more, I think, affection oriented.
If you think
than
from the other
technical.
angle, the society is moving towards more individualism.
In this regard, I would like to put a statistic before the panel that recently the Supreme Court has directed the CARA, the Central Adoption Resource Authority, to make conducive provisions for the couples waiting in line to adopt children. So this infers that there are enough biological products in form of humans, and there are also couples, heterosexual couples, who are not willing to exercise the biological function of a marriage, and they are ready to adopt child, where the society and the legal framework of the nation is acting as a hindrance. How do we see this perspective, especially when it comes from the Supreme Court of India?
Yeah, this is a good point, because it fills the vacuum actually.
Okay, regarding this point, which Supreme Court has recently declared, according to the statistics of US, they have clearly mentioned that people who are children who are depressed of same homogeneous people and heterogeneous people, means of the same sex people, those children are more depressed when they are of the couple people. That was the statistics that was released by US, California.
Because there is lack of social unit functions in Western countries, in social institutions. In Eastern countries, the family as a social unity is very strong.
I think extreme intervention of state in relation between child and a parent is disastrous. We have seen a recent example in the parent, Australia. The parent was detached from the child with regards to some inappropriate care taken by the state, and it has resulted in loss of lives. So I think child and parent relation, that too, which is by nature gender specific, at least till the age of 5, it's
I am
not
saying only when the situation of divorce arises, then the state will take care of that child.
There is one more angle, is two male taking up a daughter for adoption. That is also a concern, because
That will be discussed upon by the state as such.
See, there are also consequences of the thing.
She used a statement, two male taking upon a daughter. On one side, you spoke about marriage between siblings, and the other side, you brought the issue of two male partners taking over the responsibility of a daughter. It means that you are still not accepting that there is a need for neutralization of gender. You do not have any objection to two female homosexual partners taking care of a male child, but you have an objection to two male homosexual partners adopting a female child. Why is it so?
so it's the statistics which show the disgrace.
We can't, the progress cannot happen purely based on statistics. See, for example, in your country, there are 10,000 couples who are seeking legal status. What is your population?
1.38 billion.
1.4 billion or 1.3 billion. You are the most populous state in the country in the world, right? In this scenario, if 10,000 people are seeking legal status for their homosexual marriages, what dent are you making in the social structure? Can you imagine the plight of a girl who does not have any attraction towards a male, forcefully married to a male? For the rest of her life, she has to accept a biological intercourse which inherently her heart does not support to. The amount of stigma that women goes through throughout her life, forced upon to her through a state stamping. What is your support to that statement?
So there is a phenomenon of homophobia, which is more of a westernized.
No, you don't say westernized. Why? Because Indian ancient history also has references of homosexuality. So everything, that's the problem in our society. Anything which we feel is incorrect, we do the Western templating. That's not so the case. We have so many references of homosexuality and its practice in India. Even at the kingship level, these homosexuality practices have happened. The entire idea is to break the psyche in the society that a male cannot take care of the child, girl child, and a female cannot take care of a boy child. Understand this? So when we talk about the evolution process, this is what I want to tell you. your constitution is a big failure in that case. If your constitution failed to support even one individual in the country, your constitution is a failure. And there cannot be any better day to discuss this dimension. So for those 10,000 people, your constitution is the one that is limiting their desire. Why progeny has to be a reason for biological, getting into a biological act?
Because marriage as an institution is
No,
the
this
base
is what
for the
has been-
family.
That's what has been told to us.
But it's defined so. I think we have to
Who
create a
defined this?
new,
Who defined this?
new social institution.
Who defined this? What was the time context when this definition of family happened? What was the need to bring the element of marriage in this society? What was the need?
So it came like 200 or 300 years before. No, so long back, right? That's what I want to prove. Even though we have the historical evidences,
See-
we still define the same.
See, that's what Yogeshwar tried to give a reference, no? About animals. But I completely do not agree with his viewpoint. When he talks about the animal instinct, the idea is to from animal become a human. Yes or no? When you talk about marriage, if there is no compatibility biologically, biological compatibility is a basic of any marriage relationship. You agree with this? All of you agree? That if there is no biological compatibility, the marriage breaks. Sociological, others can be supported by the family members. But biological is one thing where the individual has to be satisfied with the other partner. If that is not there, eventually that relationship will break. You are forcing an individual who does not have that inclination into a marriage relationship just because the society believes so.
So the institution which would be formed from the same-sex marriage is not the same as the marriage which we have defined now.
Why are you expecting it to be same is my question.
Then we have to create a new institution.
That's what he's talking about.
Instead of destroying the essence of this institution.
No, he never said, I will not tolerate heterosexual marriages. He never said.
No, sir. It's the message which will be given.
It is good. If somebody has got similar inclination, they will gather courage to tell, even I belong to this sect where I do not have any feeling for the opposite gender.
That deteriorates the existing family system.
No.
Like we have to create a new system either than like shaking the already existing system.
We proudly speak of unity in diversity, but why can't we accommodate diversity in sexual orientation?
Unity in diversity, and which we say that doesn't mean we will accept every custom.
No,
So
it is-
we
it is-
can't.
It goes back to the principle of inclusivity.
So,
when you are not inclusive, you can't be a peaceful country.
So before we had the system of not giving the inheritance, women would not get the land by inheritance, but we accepted that as a custom by then. So what we felt is we needed unity and diversity in that sense. So we accept so many customs, giving it as their own personal law, but like polygamy in Muslim personal law. So why aren't they first questioned than this? Because it's unity and diversity, right?
First of all, every individual have the right to choose their partner, either maybe female or male or same sex also. They choose because that is their right? They are also contributing for economic growth. But no one should not deny their rights. When we mention about the marriage next to progeny, means marriage is not necessary for the offsprings, right? They means two individuals, they decided to be continue to the rest of the life, because no one can't to be alone in the rest of the life, because it's like a hell.
So cohabiting, partnership, live-in relation, all of them have been given their own legal status, whereas marriage as an institution is quite different from cohabiting, is what I feel.
Actually, I would like to tell a point from the audience point of view. The thing is, you are confusing on the line between the individual and societal institutions. The thing which you are talking is completely a personal thing. An individual is provided a set of personal rights he is entitled to enjoy. And at the same time, marriage is not a personal thing. It's completely a social institution. It was created to place society in its own form.
So why do we want to break that marriage as institution by bringing laws which
marriage has been successful in controlling the societal
to a very good extent it is successful in controlling by child rearing practices and everything. So if we want to we can accommodate same sex marriage because giving individuals as rights, because you told it's more societal in nature, but this is not the institution which you have to touch for, and we go for a new institution is what my personal opinion is.
rules.
New rules, new definition, you should go for a new institution.
See, ma'am, institution don't get started or get created. It is a phenomena which involves decades of process to build upon. You cannot create a new institution at the instance.
We have seen the evolution of same-sex couples. Now we have to create a new institution because there has been a decadal or many years of journey which they had. Marriage also had its own journey to evolve to this and has been defined according to its evolution. So same-sex marriage also has its own evolution for which they need to define it again.
Again there you are getting confused. In last 50 years or so, biological acceptance of this thing, of the same-sex marriage got evolved. Social acceptance did not evolve. It's a biological thing which the society started giving its look upon it. Societal acceptance for that takes a long more time.
For societal acceptance, I think by law you can bring out, but you should not touch the existing institution.
Consider, if we go in your way, we give legality to the same-sex marriage. Do you think the society will accept such couple? They want them to stay in their neighborhood?
Once upon a time, they didn't accept Sati also, so there's no point. So they didn't.
Once upon a time.
So there was no
How much
Swachh
time
Bharat
back?
before.
How much long back?
It was long back, but Swachh Bharat, how many of you accepted?
Swachh Bharat doesn't involve any individual feelings.
It inculcates values. It inculcates values like cleanliness.
But does not destroy any values of any, does not destroy any beliefs. No one want to.
It destroys belief. Do you put trash in the dustbin?
You're talking about the societal acceptance, right? The institution of marriage got societal acceptance on a wide range, even in the primitive societies, because of one particular thing, a religion.
One
Faith.
point, I would like to add one more point. From the last 200 years, human being got civilized and talking about rights, morals, laws, and they want everyone to be included. But nature doesn't work like that. In gene pool, nature automatically expels the bad eggs, which are these things, which are these same-sex marriage couples. I don't deny any rights to them, but I want the society to run according to the rules which it got created upon the time of evolution, not just created by ourselves.
Very logically, what Nitish was trying to tell is, he says the nature tries to get rid of certain shades of desires naturally. Imagine a same-sex couple, forcefully you have force that individual into a heterogeneous marriage. A man forcefully getting married to women. He will procreate. Next generation, also again if the inclination continues to be homosexual. So it means what has happened, when the nature wanted it to go in one particular generation, you have forced nature to accept it for more generations. So eventually what happens, because your population is on the rise, the number of people with the desire will only increase. So understand, the nature has its own way of adjusting to certain corrections in behaviorism, mannerisms and desires. So you are not, if the homosexual marriage is allowed to happen, the desire to be homosexual probably will end there. It will not leapfrog to the next generation, because we carry the genetic lineage also, right? So I am not saying new people will not be born. I am not making that statement. But yes, to a larger extent, the people who are desirous of doing this will definitely end with that generation. This is what I am trying to say.
Sir, you're talking about desirability, nature's desirability.
Nature which is manifested in the form of an individual.
So,
The nature is desirable.
So, there are many desirabilities for a human being. Actually, we are someone who devolved from war situations. So, it's not more than 100 years that we fought wars. We are very regular, and world is very regular for wars. It's man's natural desire to be selfish. So, when the desirability is given priority at every stage, there will be more disharmony than harmony. For example, wars.
In the initial acceptance stage, there would be disturbance. That is what Yogeshwar was trying to tell. Institutional support should come into play. We are not saying that if you accept homosexuality, the acceptance, if it comes, the society will accept it. See, couple of things will definitely remain. The urban-rural divide will remain. Within the urban clusters, the high-income class, middle-income class, lower-income class, that divide will remain. Religious dimension divide will remain. Generational divide will also remain. So, as Nitish was also trying to tell, it will take certain generations to, for that acceptance to come. Believe me, when we were kids, I am talking about 80s and 90s, we hardly heard about divorce. Hardly heard about divorce. But now it has become a very common phenomenon. Not first divorce, second divorce has also become a common phenomenon. It means the acceptability to divorce has come in maybe 5 decades. Maybe the acceptability to same-sex marriage will come in 10 decades. But the acceptability will come. That's what I am saying. If you see, we are not expecting the state to give a red carpet welcome to homosexuality, but at least do not take the legal recourse to stop them, because the state, the judiciary and all, they are saying it is illegal. The moment you say illegal, they may not end up marrying, but they will continue to cohabit. Yes, if somebody is continuing to cohabit, he is always under the fear of law. And what is the basic responsibility of the state?
Sir, cohabiting is
Cohabitation.
it's not illegal, right?
Cohabitation only. What is marriage?
Companionship and
Cohabitation
cohabitation.
only.
Yes, sir,
Yes or
but
no?
they can cohabit. It's not illegal to cohabit.
That's what I am saying. They have chosen the path of cohabitation to fulfill their desire to be with the person whom they feel attracted to. Yes or no? In marriage also, if you have not been together for 7 years, legally your marriage is nullified. Without seeking any divorce, you can marry any other person. You have to just wait for 7 years. You have to prove that last 7 years we did not mate with each other. It means within marriage also cohabitation is an important dimension. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir. I mean that marriage has its own other set of rules which cannot be brought from the same sex couples. We have to.
Why do you want same rules to apply?
That's why we have to not have the name marriage. You have to have a new name for it.
Okay, suggest one name.
That is why in recent Supreme Court judgment also the petitioners have requested for civil union.
So that's why we have to not call it marriage. So it should not be same-sex marriage. Yes.
Fundamentally the sexual minority wants the respectability in the society. They want recognition.
With regards to respect, responsibility.
Religion perspectives, marriage is not sacrament in all the religions. In Islam, marriage
It is a contract.
So, by definition, I'm telling it that it should be a mutual respect. Everything can exist in same-sex marriage also, normal marriage also. The element of procreation is something which is a foundational stone for marriage.
what you feel. I don't feel.
I feel that it's the foundational stone because that is what will lead the future generations. So I'm more concerned about my country's future generations than the what do you say, the value system of the religious.
Don't worry, we are not dinosaurs. We will not go extinct in coming 100 billion years also.
So I want quantity with quality also.
Then when you want quality, you have to allow everybody's desire to be accepted. You cannot force upon somebody's
So
desire.
if we are accepting their desire also, there are others who are getting affected by the who are in the formal institution of marriage, and
Who
they
is getting
feel
affected?
people who are in formal institution
Then
of
it
marriage,
means that they are falsely staying there.
they will get affected by the.
You mean to say that if they are getting affected means it means in the first place they did
No,
not
sir,
want to enter there.
No, I'm not
force them.
telling that they'll get influenced. I'm telling that their idea and their beliefs are also being affected.
That's what then it means our aim is achieved.
So you will save some people for save some people's beliefs and go against some others' beliefs.
If somebody is believing me, it means he also thinks like that. I am not forcing my belief on somebody, no.
So now you have to not also force on people
We are not forcing.
of same-sex marriage.
We are not.
Giving legality under the name of marriage, which has been defined, will force to shake their own belief systems. So if I as a person believe so much in marriage, and there is a definitional change to accommodate the same-sex marriage, even my rights are being.
But nobody
Marriage
denied
has
you to
always
say-
been a voluntary affair.
it is nobody forced you. Nobody denied you to make a choice based on you. Say tomorrow if I tell, okay, Uma, you cannot marry a male, you have to perforce marry a female only. How do you feel?
I feel bad.
Then why are you forcing me to marry a gender?
I am
which
not forcing you to marry someone whom you don't like. That's right to choice is fundamental right under Article 21. I am forcing you, don't call it as marriage, which has its own definition.
No, but just because of the definition you are trying to defend, then it is wrong.
If we change the definition, there are so many others also
See
who
the
will
same
feel
right,
the bad.
Article 21 that you have spoken about, did it remain the same what it was in 1950?
No.
Have you not expanded the scope of Article 21? When you are okay with expansion of the scope of Article 21, why are you not okay with the expansion of the definition of marriage?
But
If I am trying to accommodate more people under the definition, it is leading to more equality only, right?
Because
Inclusivity.
society as a whole has accepted it.
So
you
what?
need to take time to the
That's
society
what?
to accept
That,
first.
that is what we are also saying. That's what we are also
And
saying.
I think it should not be a immediate effect.
It won't be. See, that's what. Understand.
Like legally, see, social emotions take time to change, but legality, if today the law is made, from tomorrow it will be on operation. So it's a like abrupt change. Law is an abrupt change, but social change takes
It
time.
will take time. Like triple talaq also happened the same way it happened.
So
377 also.
bringing the law after societal acceptance is more harmonious in nature.
This society will never accept if there is no
Society is a heterogeneous society. It will there bound to be differences.
law. Differences.
No, so we have accepted many laws. Sabarmala case, triple
You
talaq.
feel
and-
so.
People
You haven't.
demand to change the status quo. In the process of changing the status quo, friction is bound to arise. So it will take time for transitioning.
I would like to support panelist Uma, and my question is for, you see, if you accept the same-sex marriage, there is a concept in West known as bestiality, where people get attracted to animals. Will you allow such things? And
is
it will
n-
not end there. Then
It is
people
very microscopic minority and it is not new thing. It has been there in the past. It is called as Jewfile. It is in our culture also. There are sculptures depicted on temples like Khajuraho and Konark Sun Temple. There is mention of it in Kama Sutra also. We cannot glorify.
Then at that point, I would like to provide you with some facts that almost 52% of male population around the world are susceptible to prostate cancer, and it is not evident in India as it is just a nascent concept in India. In Africa, people are sodomized and they get affected by prostate cancer and they die in huge numbers. I don't know the exact number, but they die in very huge numbers. Then who will take the responsibility? Actually, if we go against the nature, then it will curse us in its own way. Who will take up that blame?
It might be a scope for institutional failure.
Cost lives. You will accept that? you will accept such mal effects of this, of allowing same-sex marriage?
It is, so I want to break on that. Sodomization, he has spoken of. What does exactly it mean? You have mentioned of sodomization and its fallout effects of people dying. But I want to emphasize that people are not ready to accept the new dimension of same-sex marriage in their thoughts even. So thoughts percolate to words and they are visible in deeds. So when people are readily accepting the sexual minority publicly, only then they will get the confidence to speak about their health problems. Only
If
then the
people
state
are
will get to know. Only then the problem you have emphasized will get addressed by the state, obviously.
If it has such acceptance in the society, then why will all this ruckus will come up? And moreover, if you want to satisfy your biological needs, you are free and entitled by the constitution to do so. But you want to force up your relation and your social identity on the society to accept apart from their belief system.
In a diverse society, there is bound to be differences. Just because a majority has a voice, you should not suppress the minority and their sexual identity. Because in the name of exploiting them, we are subjecting them to mental trauma. They have been subjected. They have a healthy well-being. To have a healthy well-being, they are ensured a dignified life. Mental health is also a part of dignified life. So in a way, the majority is taking away the healthy life of the minority.
See, in the name of promoting homosexuality, these things, what's happening is actually kids are getting influenced, and they are undergoing the gender, not phobia. They're changing their gender change operations.
In the process of friction,
and it is an irreversible. You cannot.
Supreme Court has given guidelines regarding not to operate for the intersex operations for children especially.
For children, it is.
And also there is a need to make changes in the socialization as such.
Yeah, it is okay, but what's happening is child is claiming it is my right under the influence of these so-called.
That will get corrected in a proper socialization.
How? See, this whole thing has got the government sanction. For break అవుతుంది. వెస్ట్ తీసుకో, యూఎస్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకో. ఏమవుతుందంటే యూఎస్ గవర్నమెంట్ బ్యాకింగ్ ఉంది అఫీషియల్గా. సో ఏమవుతుంది, గవర్నమెంట్ బ్యాకింగ్ ఉంది కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుందంటే వీళ్ళందరూ క్వీర్ కమ్యూనిటీ అని చెప్పేసి అందరూ వచ్చి స్కూల్స్ కాలేజెస్లో ఏంటంటే అవేర్నెస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కండక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. దానివల్ల ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అవుతున్నారు అక్కడ ఉన్న స్టూడెంట్స్, చిన్నపిల్లలు కానీ టీనేజర్స్ కానీ. దే ఆర్ అండర్ గోయింగ్ ది చేంజ్ ఆపరేషన్స్కి వెళ్తున్నారు. అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇరివర్సిబుల్. వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్ వద్దంటున్నా కూడా వెళ్తున్నారు. హౌ విల్ యూ స్టాప్ ఇట్? గవర్నమెంట్ ఏం మాట్లాడతలేదు బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ప్రమోటింగ్ ద కాజ్ ఆఫ్ క్వియర్స్.
ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అనేది అవ్వదు, అంటే జెండర్ చేంజ్కి ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అనేది అసలు అవ్వదు. ఎందుకంటే జెండర్ చేంజ్ చేయాలంటే దెర్ ఆర్ మెనీ కౌన్సిలింగ్ టు బీ చేంజ్డ్ దట్ జెండర్. ఫస్ట్ స్టేజెస్, సెకండ్ స్టేజ్, థర్డ్, ఫోర్త్ స్టేజెస్, దట్ విల్ బీ 4-5 స్టేజెస్. ఫస్ట్ స్టేజ్లో దే విల్ కన్సోల్ యూ అంటే ఫీలింగ్స్ అబౌట్ ద ఫీలింగ్స్. సెకండ్ స్టేజ్ బయలాజికల్గా ఎవరికి అవుతున్నారు అనేది కూడా వీళ్ళు వెళ్ళి చెక్ చేసుకోండి అని చెప్పేసి చెప్తారు. అంత ఈజీగా ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అవ్వదు, జెండర్ చేంజ్ అనేది అవ్వదు ఇన్ ఇండియా పర్టికులర్లీ.
సొసైటీ చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు, సొసైటీ మెంటాలిటీ చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు,
సొసైటీ ఇట్స్ పర్టికులర్ అబౌట్ ఇండివిజువల్. మీరు
ఇండివిజువల్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో కరెక్టేనండి. ఐఎమ్ నాట్ డినయింగ్ దట్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సేయింగ్ దట్. ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఆఫ్ సొసైటీ పర్స్పెక్టివ్లో గవర్నమెంట్ బ్యాకింగ్ ఆల్రెడీ ఉంది అక్కడ. గవర్నమెంట్ బ్యాకింగ్ అండ్ ఈ కమ్యూనిటీస్ బోల్డ్ అని క్వియర్ కమ్యూనిటీస్ ప్రెషర్ గ్రూప్ కింద ఏర్పడి దే ఆర్ ఇవన్నీ ఫాస్ట్ ట్రాక్ అయిపోతున్నాయి. ఈ పేరెంట్స్ చెప్పిన చిల్డ్రన్ ఉంటారు కదా, టీనేజర్, వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్ చెప్పినా కూడా దే ఆర్ అనేబుల్ టు స్టాప్ అండ్ స్టేట్ ఈజ్ అనేబుల్ టు డూ ఎనీథింగ్. జస్ట్ నుంచి చూస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు మీరు దీనివల్ల ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు 10,000 మంది ఉన్నారు, 10,000 మంది మేబీ 1 lakh ఉన్నారు అనుకోండి టోటల్ పాపులేషన్లో. దానికోసం మీరు లాస్ చేంజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, బాగానే ఉంది. బట్ దాని యొక్క కాస్ట్ బెనిఫిట్ అనాలిసిస్లో ద మెజారిటీ, ద సోషల్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ ఆర్ గెటింగ్ డిస్టర్బ్డ్, రైట్?
సోషల్ స్ట్రక్చర్లు డిస్టర్బ్ అవుతున్నాయి అన్నప్పుడు సతీ ఉంది, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ సతీ తీసుకోండి, చైల్డ్ మ్యారేజెస్ తీసుకోండి, అది సొసైటీ అంత యాక్సెప్ట్ చేసింది కదా. 1927 వరకు రాజారామోహన్ రాయ్ వచ్చే వరకు కూడా ఎవరికి తెలియదా అది రాంగ్ అని చెప్పేసి. ఒకరు చనిపోతే తీసుకెళ్ళి వాళ్ళని చంపేసేయడం అనేది. ఇప్పుడు సేమ్ సెక్స్ మ్యారేజెస్లో వీళ్ళేం ఎదుటి వాళ్ళని చంపట్లేదు కదా, ఓన్ దే పర్సన్లోనే వెళ్తున్నారు. ఎదుటి వాళ్ళకి ఇందాక తను కూడా మాట్లాడింది వార్ టైంలో చేశారు అని చెప్పేసి. దే ఆర్ డోంట్ గెటింగ్ ఇన్ టు ఎనీ అదర్ పర్సనల్ ఇంటర్చేంజ్ కదా.
But there is another theory or another basis that when you deny a person his choice to exercise his heterogeneity, he will bound to or he will be forced to exercise homogeneity. It was evident in monasteries as such in ancient India.
Okay, first to answer her question, mental influence, whatever is there, you were talking about sati and things, right? Social media was not strong that time, first thing, and now social media is accessible by every kid. Kids are more mature, not mature but more used to social media because of the free time they get. So the thing is, if I'm talking something to my kid thinks not only in my perspective, which used to happen in ancient times. They'll go to school, they go to other places, they'll compare with what other kids are also talking, and they will understand. Those were the days when social media was not there, so the spread was very less. Now, unnecessary thoughts, even he or she is already sure about what he or she is, have a benefit of doubt. They're giving benefit of doubt, and sexual orientation, to understand the biology for a teenager is hard. Then they are aware of their mental status, so they'll have that thinking.
We can consider it on a positive note that what the adults have failed to understand may be understood by the child at an early age, so that the society will get acceptance towards the same sex couple.
When it's natural, why is it some external force has to define?
Because a majority population of humans are suppressing.
No, it's natural, right? They'll have that instinct.
Yeah.
Suppose I have that instinct and someone comes and tells me so and so is the thing, then I will start doubting my own gender and I'll have lot of mental trauma.
If it is natural, it is bound to get exposed one day or the other.
If it's natural, it will automatically get exposed. You need not go as an external force.
You cannot rub on anyone else.
He has given.
It reflects the absence of sex education. Actually.
You are saying that naturally it will come out, right?
Yeah.
వెస్ట్లో ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంది, జనరల్ ఫ్లూయిడిటీ అని చెప్పేసి. మ్యాన్ బై డే, గర్ల్ బై నైట్, అలా. ఓకేనా?
We can't compare everything of East with the West. Because Eastern cultures as such, they are more conservative, more traditional than the West.
Yes.
There is more perversion in the West than the East. Even though Japan has experienced more industrialization than Western countries, the traditional value system of Japan is more stronger than Western countries. We cannot always compare West with the East.
సో అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు అనేది డైవర్స్ రేట్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఫస్ట్ వెస్ట్లో ఎక్కువ ఉండే, తర్వాత అది మనకి వచ్చేసింది కదా, ఇక్కడ కూడా వీఆర్ ఫైండింగ్ దెమ్, రైట్?
That is where I am emphasizing about sex education and proper socialization.
ఫస్ట్ గే ఒకటి ఉండేది, తర్వాత వెస్ట్లో LGBTQ కమ్యూనిటీ వచ్చింది, సో అదే ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం ఇక్కడ.
They were there inherently.
సో నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ నేను చెప్తాను అండి. ఎన్ని జెండర్స్ ఉన్నాయి టోటల్? కెన్ యూ ఎక్స్పాండ్ ద వర్డ్ జెండర్ అండ్ హౌ మెనీ ఆర్ దేర్?
That is why there is a mention of queer.
LGBTQ ప్లస్ ఒకటి వచ్చింది, ప్లస్లో మోర్ దెన్ 100 జెండర్స్ ఉన్నాయంట. ఇండియాలో లేవు ప్రస్తుతానికి, ఇట్ విల్ కమ్.
If we can take it that way, we can drag it to the philosophical angle that some people don't marry at all. It is their personal choice of not exercising their reproductive choice. We can also consider it as a part of that plus.
See,
gender sex అనేది do different things. Biological sex is a biological thing, gender is a sociological thing. I accept, మీరు చెప్పిన దానికి నేను ఒప్పుకుంటా. బట్ ఇప్పుడు ఎవరో వచ్చి ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేస్తే మాత్రం అది అవ్వదు. ఒకటి ఫస్ట్ మెయిన్ థింగ్ పెట్టుకోండి. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎలా అంటే ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నారు అంటే పర్సనల్గా వాళ్ళ రైట్స్ వాళ్ళు తెలుసుకోకుండా డిప్రెషన్లోకి వెళ్ళి చచ్చిపోతున్నారు. రీసెంట్గా కూడా ఒక డాటా రిలీజ్ అయింది. మెనీ ఉమెన్ ఆర్ మెన్ ఆర్ సూసైడ్ చేసుకుంటారు. దేర్ రీజన్ ఎవరికి తెలియట్లేదు బయట ఏం జరుగుతుంది అనేది. మేబీ దానికోసం ఆ క్యాంపెయినింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఇఫ్ మీకు ఇలాంటివి ఉంటే విల్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ అని చెప్పేసి చెప్తున్నారు. నా పాయింట్ ఆఫ్
మ్యామ్ ఐమ్ నాట్ అగ్నెస్ట్ ఈ కో ఎగ్జిస్టెన్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే ఈ కో లివింగ్ ఉండడం
ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ అక్కడ నుంచి వచ్చింది ఇక్కడ నుంచి వచ్చింది అని చెప్తున్నారు కదా, అక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఏం రాలేదు, జస్ట్ వాళ్ళ రైట్స్ కోసం వేరే వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు.
ఉన్న వాళ్ళ రైట్స్ వీఆర్ నాట్ డినయింగ్ ఇట్.
ఓకే,
దే ఆర్ ఫ్రీ టు కో లివ్, వాళ్ళు ఎలా కావాలంటే అలా ఉండండి.
డూ యూ థింక్ ఓన్లీ 1.3 బిలియన్ సేమ్ సెక్స్ కపుల్స్, ఐ మీన్ సేమ్ సెక్స్ ఫీలింగ్స్ ఉన్నాయని అనుకుంటున్నారా ఇండియాలో? మీకు తెలియకుండా ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారో మీకు తెలుసా?
Adhering to the time constraints,
1 minute, I want to counter that.
Okay. Last minute for both the sides.
So as Yogendra told, Japan has cultural, but Japan did not adopt same-sex marriage, though there were conditions. So for your explanation, I think Italy, Japan, they didn't take up, and influence in mental state.
But there is existence of demand for recognition in Japan too.
Existence of demand, but it's going on from long age.
That is what is also going on in India.
But Japan is not accepting, and mental state.
It is not that India has to accept only after Japan. Why can't we take a forward step?
కాదండి, మీ మెంటల్ కాన్స్ట్రక్ట్స్ అనేది తీసుకెళ్ళి టీనేజర్స్ మీద హూ ఆర్ అనేబుల్ టు డిసైడ్ ఫర్ దెమ్సెల్స్, వాళ్ళ మీద వై యు ఆర్ ఇంపోజింగ్ మెంటల్ కాన్స్ట్రక్ట్స్? మీరేమి వాళ్ళలో లేదు. ఓకే, దే ఆర్ హెట్రోసెక్షువల్స్, బట్ మీరేంటంటే వాట్ దే ఆర్ గెటింగ్ ఎండెడ్ అప్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్డ్.
That is where by imbibing a proper sex education we will improve the moral autonomy of the teenager so that he will exercise his sexual choices very wisely and judiciously.
See, know your rights అనే క్యాంపెయిన్ దట్ ఈస్ ఫైన్, బట్ వాట్ ఇది ఏదో గొప్ప థింగ్, గ్రేట్ థింగ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ స్వాగ్ అన్నట్టు ప్రమోట్ చేస్తాం వల్ల ఇలా వస్తున్నాయి.
No, it is not emphasized about treating them as special, it is treating them as different, that's it. There is a difference between specialization and difference.
ఇందాక మనం మాట్లాడుకున్నట్టు జపాన్ వచ్చేసి దీన్ని ఎంకరేజ్ చేయట్లేదు అంటున్నారు. బికాస్ ఎందుకు జపాన్ ఎంకరేజ్ చేయట్లేదు అంటే అక్కడున్న యూత్ పాపులేషన్ అనేది పెరగట్లేదు, అక్కడ ఓల్డ్ పీపుల్ పాపులేషన్ అనేది ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది. సో వాళ్ళు అక్కడ ఎంకరేజ్ చేయట్లేదు, సో దట్ పీపుల్ వుడ్ గెట్ ఇన్ టు హెట్రోసెక్షువల్ రిలేషన్స్ అండ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ దర్ పాపులేషన్ సో దట్ ద youth will dominate the population.
Japan is undergoing one more problem. If you are aware, the inclination for physical desire has also gone down drastically in Japan. That is one of the leading cause of population control in Japan. If you are aware, one of the articles in New York Times, it talks about the porn industry in Japan, where they are not finding any male coming forward to be an actor in a porn industry. It is a reflection in the society that aversion to sex. So this dimension also is very important, one must confront. Aversion to sex is happening because of the lifestyle. Because see, at the end of the day, the nature has created man to procreate. That's the basic dimension of our human evolution or any animal basic instinct evolution. We have seen the animals. You see if you see the National Geographic Channel, there are so many classification of animals. They risk their life for procreation, and in huge numbers, be it fish, be it the amphibians, be it mammals. There's so many. So they are, even the nature has designed them to risk their life to ensure that the next generation comes. Yes or no? So when you start accepting, I'm trying to support the against argument. When you start accepting these things, you hit at the very core of existence of the nature. So that is also a dimension, because the nature did not design man and a man to procreate. The nature at the same time did not design a woman and a woman to procreate. So if we give acceptance, social and legal acceptance to this hits at the very core of the existence that the nature has designed. That dimension also you should not forget. Okay? Because it may not have a immediate effect now, but maybe 200, 300, 400 years down the line, when the population decline will happen at a very rampant state, that is when the control will come very drastically. So that dimension also we need to.
Whatever is the scenario at present, our fundamental rights mainly focus on anything of individual should not disturb the society and the public order, whatever it is. Supreme Court as an institution has given them legal rights of having civil unions, but it will take some time to have a legality for their marriage, since the definition of marriage clearly mentions a term couple in the sense a male and a female. That's the reason why it is not accepted now. We hope, since we are upgrading in our technology, future there is a high scope that same-sex marriage will get its legality as it is for the normal marriage.
And be mindful of the consequences of the laws which are being made. Okay.
I request
Okay.
closing comments from the pro side.
What I want to talk to now, earlier when Yogeshwar was telling that there is no comparison between East and Western societies, but when we look into the society right now, most of the Eastern countries are adapting to Western culture. Slowly we compare, means earlier in 90s, 80s, many joint family culture was there, but right now we can't hardly find a joint family. Means family system evolution, we are adapting to Western society. Means joint family culture, it was lost. Means acceptance is not come easily. అంటే జాయింట్ ఫ్యామిలీ కల్చర్ ఎలాగైతే వెళ్ళిపోయిందో ఇప్పుడు న్యూక్లియర్ ఫ్యామిలీ అంటే పేరెంట్స్ చిల్డ్రన్ ఇంక ఉండే కొద్దీ వైఫ్ అండ్ హస్బెండ్ కలిసి ఉంటే దాన్నే ఫ్యామిలీ అంటారేమో. ఎట్లా చెప్పాలంటే మన గ్రాండ్ పేరెంట్స్ టైంలో వాటర్ అనేది లేక్ నుంచి తీసుకొచ్చుకునేవాళ్ళు, ఇప్పుడు మనం బాటిల్స్లో కొనుక్కుంటున్నాం. మన నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్ వచ్చేవాళ్ళు మన గ్రాండ్ పేరెంట్స్ నీళ్ళల్లో వాటర్ లేక్స్ నుంచి తెచ్చుకుంటున్నారని వింటేనే షాక్ అవుతారు. ఎలా అంటే ఈ సేమ్ సెక్స్ మ్యారేజ్ గురించి వీఆర్ ది ఫస్ట్ జనరేషన్ వింటున్నాం, సేమ్ సెక్స్ మ్యారేజ్ గురించి వింటున్నాం అంటే ఇది మనది ఫస్ట్ జనరేషన్. సో దట్ యాక్సెప్టెన్స్ అనేది సడన్గా రాదు. అదే మన నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్ వాళ్ళు ఖచ్చితంగా దాన్ని యాక్సెప్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో ఇట్ నీడ్స్ సమ్ టైం. అదే మన థర్డ్ జనరేషన్ వాళ్ళు ఫస్ట్ జనరేషన్కి వచ్చి చూసుకుంటే షాక్ అవుతారు, ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ జనరేషన్ వాళ్ళు రిజెక్ట్ చేస్తారు కదా, ఎందుకు రిజెక్ట్ చేశారు అన్నది వాళ్ళకి ఆశ్చర్యం వేస్తుంది. ఏదైనా కొద్దిగా టైం పడుతుంది ఎవాల్వ్ అవ్వడానికి. అలాగే కొన్ని బ్యాడ్ కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్ కూడా ఉంటాయి సొసైటీ మీద, ఎందుకంటే ఇండియా అనే కంట్రీ ఇక్కడ యాక్సెప్టెన్స్ రావడం చాలా కొద్దిగా కష్టం, కానీ వస్తే దెర్ విల్ బీ పాజిటివ్ అండ్ నెగిటివ్ ఇంపాక్ట్స్ ఆల్సో. ఎందుకంటే అవర్ డైవర్సిటీ, అవర్ కల్చర్ ఈజ్ ది కోర్ ఐడియాలజీ అండ్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ఫర్ అవర్ ఎకానమీ.
Support his statement, negative dimension he says, positive also can be there, negative also can be there. In the existing structure of marriage also there are positives and negatives. Domestic violence is the biggest negative. Domestic violence is the biggest negative dimension, right? So just because there is domestic violence, we did not give up on the institution of marriage. We tried to bring in a legal safeguard, societal safeguards to protect that individual. So whatever negative dimensions will come, over a period of time the society and the legal structure will evolve to support that system to function efficiently as far as possible. Okay? Yeah.
So I hope this sums up the discussion, and probably I feel I was the only coordinator happy sitting back and the panel was so interactively engaging, providing insightful examples from across the globe and giving a summary. The pro side has a cause of individual rights. The purpose of living with individual identities, whereas the con side emphasizes the negative consequences upon society, equally presenting the biological facts which may deter the existence of human evolution itself. So summing up, now we stand at a point where Supreme Court is expected to give its decision or maybe reconsider the case in near days, and we hope this issue finds a balance and there is respect to individual rights equally while protecting the social structures and fabric of our Indian society. I thank you, the panel members from both the sides, for your insights, for your appreciation and depreciation to the issue, and I thank Ekam Academy for providing us the opportunity, and I thank also the viewers for your patient listening. Jai Hind, thank you.